Hi friends, welcome to the Inspired Knitting Podcast. I'm your host Bobby and I'm coming to you from Straight Shores, New Brunswick, Canada. Today is Friday, July the 17th, 2026, and you are watching episode 157. Welcome. This is my podcast where I share with you all my knitting adventures and my crocheting and spinning, and I have all three today, which is super exciting. So yeah, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Thank you for all your love and support. And if you are new, welcome. I hope you enjoy. So yeah, just a little bit of administration stuff before we get into it. You can always find detailed show notes down below in the description box. And you can also find links to where you can find me on the internet. I am most active on Instagram as Inspired Knitting Podcast. And you can also find me over on Ravelry as X Country Girl 1986X as well. So that one is more my own personal portfolio. I don't really put a lot of notes in my Ravelry pages, which is why I link you directly to the patterns that I talk about. But if you so wish to go over there and check it out, or even add me as a friend, you go right ahead. It is there for you. So yeah, today I have some finished objects. I have a lot of crochet, of course, and I do have knitting as well. Weirdly enough, I didn't realize this until I just got all my stuff together. I have no works in progress to share with you guys. And it's not like I don't have works in progress. Believe me, I do, guys. You know me. I got lots of them, but nothing that is active. I just finished my first active one this morning. So, I'm not going to show anything in works in progress today, but I do have finished objects. I do have spinning, and I also have some stash enhancement, which is not yarn. So stay tuned for that. So grab your beverage of choice, grab your craft of choice, and we'll get started. I don't have any beverage with me today. We're just going at this, and I already had my coffee, so I'm good. We're just going to get right into it. So let's get started. Like usual, I'm going to start with the crochet first, and then I'll go on to the knitting. So the first thing that I made, I had a request for a Maisy duck, or a duck. She's modified though. So Maisy duck is a pattern by Oak and Marlow. And if you know this pattern, you'll notice that her beak is different. So I was asked if I could make the beak more prominent, like make it stand out a little bit more. So I had a second duck pattern, which you will see next. I will show that next. And it has more of a 3D version of a beak on it, as you can tell here. So I took the Maisy duck pattern by Oak and Marlow, and then I just put the beak from the other pattern onto it. That's all I did. And I also decided to embroider on the eyes because they asked if I can embroider them because it is for an infant. So I did that. And they wanted it green, so this green, so there we go. That is what I did. So the green is from the Burnett Blanket yarn Brights collection. I could not tell you what the colorway is, but it's pretty easy. The Brights collection has like a hot pink, it's got a lime green, and then it's got like this more of a, what I would call like a jade green. So that's what this one is. It's so pretty. I love the Brights collection. I just like all the bright colors. They're so amazing. So if you're curious on how I embroidered the eyes, go to Oak and Marlow's blog. If I can remember, I will link it below. And she actually has a tutorial. It is a video. She has a video on how to do the eyes, which is super simple. I am not good at embroidery, and I find that it turned out rather well. So do check that out. So Maisy Duck by Oak and Marlow. And then the beak that I was talking about is off of this sweet little girl. This is the Itty Novice Duckling by Bkay Crochet. and I will have that link below, of course. And this is the beak off of the Duckling. So it's more of a 3D version of a beak. And I decided to do the same embroidered eyes off of Oak And Marlow's blog for this one as well. This past weekend that just went by, I had a lot of requests for like embroidered eyes because they wanted them for infants. So I decided that I would carry that on to my crocheting this week. So that is what I have done. And this little duckling is just so sweet. She also comes with a headband pattern as well. I just chose not to do the headband. The yarn that I use for this is Loops and Threads in their denim collection. I think it's called Denim Pearl collection. And I got it from Michael's. And it was just this beautiful, what I would call like a hot purple, and this beautiful orange. So the only thing I would say, the orange is a little bit thicker than the purple. It's definitely not as thick as Bernat blanket yarn, but it is just as soft. Like, it is super soft and squishy, but it is a little bit on the thinner side. That is the only thing. But I love this. So the Novice Duckling by Bkay Crochet. And the cool thing is, it's a low sew pattern. So your legs, your wings, your beak is all crocheted first. And then as you're crocheting the body, you're crocheting the pieces right onto it. So it is phenomenal. And same with the little tail back here. The tail is already, like, you crochet that right into the body. So there's no need to do these pieces and sew them on. It is already crocheted in, which I love those kind of patterns. So there we go. I love it. It's so good. So the next thing that I did, I ended up, as I said, this past weekend, it was all about the infants, which that's the curious thing about a market, right? You never quite know what to put on your table because there could be a wide variety of customers. But this past weekend, I ended up selling out my little lovies. I had 2 of them, and they both sold. So I wanted to replace them, and I decided to go with Bri Bunny this time. So this is a pattern by Oak And Marlow. So you pick the Fable baby of your choice, and then you do the Lovey modification. So the Lovey is the crocheted granny square. And you can purchase that. I believe it's for like $3.50 Canadian. You can find it on Ravelry and Etsy. And then it is compatible with any of the Fable babies. So it gives you the instructions on how to do the Lovey, which is in worsted weight yarn. And then you would use a blanket yarn, and it gives you the instructions on how to do the head. But then you have to go over to your Fable baby. So in this instance, I went over to Bri Mouse, and I did the rest of her head and her little arms. And because it is for an infant, I crocheted on her, or embroidered on her eyes and her little nose. And I love her. So the yarn that I use for the blanket is Bernat Premium. And then Bernat blanket yarn. Isn't it awesome? I love these. These are so nice. So I did Bri Mouse. And then I had to do Millie chicken again. I don't know what it is with the chickens, but I love the chickens. So I had to do Millie chicken as well. And this one here, for the blanket, for the blanket portion of it, I saw this color. It's called Honey Spice. It is Patons inspired yarn, which is a bulky. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and use it anyways. So I just emitted, I think, a row in the pattern repeat for the granny square. And I got the blanket to be the same size, so I just went with it. I thought that this color would look really great with Millie, and that's what I wanted to do. And I also wanted just to use up my yarn, so that's what I did. So this is Bernat blanket yarn, of course, same with her little comb. And again, you do not have to sew this on. This is crocheted right onto her head. Embroidered the eyes, the nose. I love her. She is so stinking cute. Just adore it. So yeah, do check that out. Oak and Marlow has some wonderful patterns. Again, I talk about them all the time, but they are my absolute favorite. I would say my absolute favorite crochet designers. Not sure yet because I haven't looked, but they've come out with their Lofty collection, and it just means that your Fable babies are getting an upgrade where they're loftier. So a couple episodes ago, I showed you Tilly Cat. Well, they now have Tilly, they have Fin Bear, and Prim Bunny. I keep seeing pictures of testers, Prim Bunnies. So I don't know if she's officially been released yet. I haven't looked, but I keep seeing pictures and she looks amazing and I want to make her. So speaking of Prim Bunny, I made a Prim Bunny and here she is. Okay. First of all, this is not Lofty. This is just Baby Prim Bunny by Oak and Marlow. I just made her this morning. And the reason why I am so obsessed with her, not only is she like so cute, but it's the yarn. So the yarn is Bernat Blanket in the sandy tweed colorway. Yes, Bernat Blanket has a tweed collection. And when I saw this, I was just like, what? I love tweedy yarns. They are so complex and so beautiful. And I just had to have it. So I picked some up and I am obsessed. I got 2 balls of it. I am just obsessed. I think these will make the sweetest little bunnies and bears and puppies and kitties. I just think it's amazing. So this is Prim Bunny by Oak and Marlow, and I ended up putting safety eyes on her, and I have some safety noses, so I just went with that. I thought it matched fairly well. Excuse me. And I'm also, Prim Bunny comes with 2 little accessory pieces. She comes with a headband, right? I believe she's the one that comes with a headband, and she also comes with a little dress. So I plan to do a dress for her. I've picked out a hot pink from the Brights collection that I think would look really cute. It seems like it would match really well. So I'm going to do a little dress for her. I just didn't want to leave the podcast too late because I have some stuff that I need to do this afternoon. And I felt like if I put the podcast off, I probably wouldn't want to podcast when I got home. So I'm podcasting now. So I didn't have time to do her little dress, but I do plan to do the dress at some point today. And yeah, I think it'll be really cute. So there's my Prim Bunny by Oak and Marlow. Okay, guys, and I have one more to show you. I have been doing some keychains for my my market, I had a request for some keychains or adding keychains to some of my animals, and I started to do that, and I've kind of become a little bit obsessed with it. So I got some different ideas on what I would like to do. And this was a pattern that I found and on Etsy. It's by Croutonscrochet. I will have it linked below just in case I got that wrong. For some reason, I feel like I got that wrong. But that's okay. That's okay. It'll be linked below. It's a kitten keychain. So here's my little kitten. And I made 2 of them. And for these, I just use safety eyes and these little black noses. And the cool thing again about these is that you do not need to crochet anything or sew anything onto it. It is all crocheted right into it. So I love that. So this is worsted weight yarn. This is a new to me yarn, actually. This is Big Twist I got it from Michaels, and I just really loved this color. It is so vibrant and so bright. I just loved it. So yeah, Big Twist. And we got these cute little kittens. Isn't that cute? So I got those guys done. And I almost forgot, like, one of the best things that I crocheted this week. I was like, something's missing here. And this is the part where I'm confusing it because I didn't write show notes. So I'm not even going to say who I think the creator is. It'll just be linked down below, okay? So I've been seeing these going around for a while. And I was just like, okay, it's just time that you make one because I've been obsessed. So, are you guys ready? I made a peanut butter and jelly jellyfish. Yes. How stinking cute is this guy? He's just so cute. Oh my gosh. I love it. His face, everything about him is just so cool. He is not hard to do. The only thing is you have to be careful because you're working in front loops and back loops. So as you're doing this section, you're not sewing this on and you're not sewing the legs on. So again, I'm letting you guys know because I hate sewing stuff on, and you do not have to sew these on. They are crocheted right onto the piece. The only thing that you would have to sew that I didn't because I am lazy that way is you do your front piece of bread and your back piece of bread separately. You leave a long tail and you sew it all together. I did not do that. What I did is when I got to my second slice of bread back here, I did not cut my yarn. I put my 2 pieces of bread together and I slip stitched all the way around until I got to this half, put my stuffing in, and finished slip stitching up. That's my modification that I did. Another modification is the brown part of my bread here, my crust. It should have had 2 extra rows of single crochets to the border. I did not have enough yarn of this color to do so. Therefore, I only did 1 row, which I think it still looks fine. I don't think it matters, but that is another, I guess you could say, modification that I kind of had no choice to do because I didn't have enough yarn. I was trying to use up scraps. So anyways, that is what I did. The only thing, as I was saying, that you have to be careful of is when you're doing your jelly and your peanut butter sections, you're working off front loops and back loops. around your sandwich, and you have to be very careful that you don't go off track, because I did. And when I got to the bottom section here, this is where I went off track, and I kind of had to fudge it a little bit because I didn't realize that I had gone off. So where I should have went into the front loops, I accidentally went into the back. So I just fudged it a bit. I mean, when you're looking at it this way, you can't even tell that I did. So it is what it is, but I know it's there, so it's gonna bug me. But otherwise, this is like such a cool pattern, and I just love it. His face is so sweet. I just love it. So there's my peanut butter and jelly jellyfish, and I just love these legs. I just want to, oh, I guess another modification. Sorry, I just remembered this because I'm playing with his little tentacles. I chained 15 stitches less than what it called for. So I guess the legs could have been done a lot longer. However, I was doing my chain stitches, and I was like, you know, that looks pretty long. So I stopped them just short. So 15 stitches less than what it called for. I don't want to say the number because it is a paid for pattern. But yeah, otherwise, there's my sandwich jellyfish, and I just love it. Bernette blanket yarn. It's amazing. So that is what I did. And that is it for the crochet portion of the podcast. So yeah, that is what I did this week for crochet. And then I actually had a finished object when it comes to knitting, and that would be my shorty socks. This is a colorway by Yarnable by Hypnotic Yarn in the Pumpkin Patch colorway. And I decided to do shorty socks with these because it's summertime, and I had a couple of requests for shorty socks. So yeah, it was really fun. And I did 64 stitches, 2x2 ribbing for 15 rows, 10 rows of plain knitting. Then I went into my slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset, and yeah, that's what I did. And then I just did the size foot that I wanted, which is roughly a woman's size 8. And there is 2. So yeah, there they are. I really love this colorway. It is so pretty. And I have enough yarn left over. I'm pretty sure I still have to weigh these. Which I just remembered that I didn't write any of this stuff in my book, so I have to do that after. But yeah, I have to weigh these out, but I'm pretty sure that I have enough yarn left over to do at least another pair of shorty socks. So that's pretty exciting. And if there is enough left over, then they're probably going to be for me because I really love this colorway. Okay, so I have one more to share with you guys, and it is a half-finished object. So because it is summer sock camp, I'm trying to work on my socks as much as possible, and I actually have a few pairs going right now. So I had an idea of which ones I was going to work on. However, this one was sitting in front of me, and this one's been on the go for a while. So I just was like, you know, let's just do that. So that's what I did. So this is my Knit Picks Felici in the Lisa colorway. This is one of their newer ones. I don't know if it's still available or not. I haven't looked on Knit Picks, but it is one of their newer ones. And yeah, this one here, I just cast it on 64 stitches, 2x2 ribbing for, I believe, 20 rows, 50 rows for my leg, slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset. Yeah, and then I just did whatever size foot that I desired. Pretty basic recipe. It is fingering weight yarn. And I always do, and I forgot to say that on the shorty socks because I did that on the shorty socks as well. I did 64 stitches for the cuff. Once I get my ribbing done for the cuff, I decrease down to 56 stitches. And it's just because of my gauge. I do not like casting on 56 stitches for the ribbing because then I feel the sock is too tight to get on your foot and over your heel. But if I cast on 64, it's perfect. If I continue knitting the whole sock in 64 stitches, then my gauge gets looser, I feel, in the stockinette portion of it, and then the sock is too loose. I don't know, guys. It's just, I figured out this is my perfect combination for my sock knitting, and I feel that if it works for you, then it doesn't matter. So yeah, I use 2mm Chagoo's Magic Loop, and I use a 40-inch cable because I like to have that extra length on my cables. So yeah, that is what I have accomplished this week. It still doesn't seem like a lot. This week has definitely been a quieter week for me. But it is what it is, right? So the next thing I have to share with you, because like I said, I really don't have any works in progress. And besides my crocheting and the socks, like the socks, those were my active works in progress this week. I have not touched my jaunty or my tank at all. I'm just trying to focus on the market because tomorrow is market day, but it is double market day because if you are local to the Sackville area, we have the Sackville's Farmers Market in the morning, and then tomorrow evening from 5:30 to 8:30 we have the Art in the Park, and there's going to be, as far as I know, 20 vendors, all artisans, and yeah, it's going to be a great night. So I'm trying to stock up my table a bit, and it's not as stocked up as I wished it would be. And unfortunately, like I said, I have places to be this afternoon, so I don't think I'm going to be getting a lot done, which is a little bit sad, but I don't know, we'll see what happens. But yeah, so we got that happening tomorrow, which is going to be a pretty big day. So yeah, I was just trying to stock up the crocheting for it, so that's why I didn't get as much knitting done. But I am very excited because I did get some spinning done, and it's all thanks to my friend Ren. And if you're watching, hi Ren. She invited me out to her grandpa's cottage, which is actually just like up the road from where we live here in Straight Shores. And oh my God, I had so much fun, guys. I love sitting by the water, and we are sitting right on the ocean. Like, not our house, but her cottage sits right on the ocean, and oh my gosh, that is just my place to be. That is my happy place, just to be by the water. I've always loved the water. It's just so relaxing to me, just to hear the waves, just to experience like the views. It's just amazing. It's incredible. So she invited us, so we went yesterday, and we decided, because Ren is a knitter, and she's she does painting, she does a lot of crafting, but we decided to do spinning. So thanks to Ren, I got to bring out my spinning wheel yesterday, and so yesterday I pretty much just spun the entire afternoon away, and it was incredible. So I have a finished object in regards to spinning that I finished before, and I have spinning from yesterday. So I'm just going to reach out of frame for a minute and grab my bag and show you guys, because it's so exciting. I love spinning. Okay, so as you guys would have seen before, I was doing a 2-ply out of 2 different braids of fiber. So one was a Corriedale fiber that I had dyed up myself last fall at Gobsmacked Yarns in Sackville. And then I decided to do a second braid with it because I wanted more yardage out of it. And I went with a merino silk blend. And I have no idea where that fiber came from because I lost the tag for it, unfortunately. It had been in my stash for a couple years. But I decided to do that. So what I ended up doing is I took the braid and I split it into, I'm just trying to remember now, I split it into 3. So I took the whole portion of the braid, I undid the whole braid, and I split it into 3. And then I did the same with the merino silk braid. I took it all apart. The merino silk braid, if you watch the podcast, it went from like an aqua to a bluey green to a black. So I did the same thing. I split it into 3. My idea was to do a 3-ply, and then I decided to do a 2-ply. So I had 6 bobbins of color. And I still have technically 2 bobbins of color that I need to spin up because I have, let me see if I can find it in here in my bag. I still have a little bit of, not sure how well you can see that. I still have some black fiber here that would need to be spun up. So I'm thinking of getting that spun up and just making a 2-ply out of the 2 bobbins that I have left. And it would primarily be black and blue. I don't know how much yardage that's going to give me or how many grams it's going to give me, but I'm sure that I will find something to do with it. But for this, or it might just go with this one. I really don't know yet. But I saw how this one was starting to ply up, and I hadn't put a ton of thought into it, and that's my problem when it comes to spinning. I just kind of take a guess, and I just go for it. I get so excited when I first start. The funny thing about this spin is it turned into something that I totally didn't intend to happen. So are you ready? If you follow me on Instagram, you would have already saw it, but here's my cake that I came up with, and it turned into like a gradient, and I didn't anticipate it to do that, but it did. So you can see the center has these golds and kind of bluey purples, and then it goes into blue and purple, kind of blue and gray. There's some more golds in there. And then it goes into green and black. It's very, very cool. I absolutely love it. And it is so soft. This side, you can kind of see it a bit better. It is so soft. I am just obsessed with this, and I'm very happy. I was pretty consistent with it. I would like to say this is a heavy fingering. I haven't measured it out yet, but I did weigh it, and I have 160 grams of yarn here, which is quite substantial. So it's going to be a Jaunty by Andrea Mowry, and I am so excited about that. So I have to get my current Jaunty done before I cast this on. And guys, I was so close. I almost grabbed new needles and casted this one on right away, but I was like, you can't do that. You can't be that irresponsible. Because I have so much going right now that would really be irresponsible. But I so badly want to do it because it is just so pretty. And it's my hand spun. Oh, I love it. So that is a finished object. And I love how the silk plays on the black. It's just so pretty. It's coming out more gray, but in person it's a little bit darker. So pretty. So I did that. And then I wanted to get that off of my wheel because I knew I was going to be going to Wren's, and I wanted to start a new spin. And I wanted to use up some fiber that I had just bought from the Atlantic Fiber Festival in Shediac that happened at the end of June. And I got some Lois and Jane. And this, she is a fiberist from PEI. And this one has merino, it's got sparkle and sari silk, and it is amazing. And it is in a 50-gram bat. And I'm just going to set my bag down so I don't drop anything. Here is what the bat now looks like because I've been pulling it apart. And I just love like that. You see that hot pink there? Oh, it just makes me so happy. Oh, it's so pretty. I love it. So I have this one. I'll just set it here. And then I also have this one here, which is also by Lois and Jane, except this is one of her Frankenbats. So she explained to me that her Frankenbats are just any leftovers that she has that she just throws all together. So this one has merino, it's got Shetland, it's got sparkle, and it's got sari silk in it. And oh my gosh, those bubblegum pinks. Oh my gosh, so happy. So what I've decided to do with this one is I'm going to spin this up onto one bobbin. I'm using my Electric Eel Nano. So I'm pretty sure that I can get all of this onto one bobbin. And if that is the case, then this is another, this is 50 grams. It doesn't actually say, but I believe it is. I will put this onto the second bobbin and make a 2-ply. However, I also have a thought process. I picked up this bat from the Atlantic Fiber Festival as well. And this is by Paisley Defender, Sue Smith. And I'm kind of wondering, it looks like it's about a 50-gram as well. I'm kind of wondering if I should spin this up onto a third bobbin and ply all three together into a 3-ply. What do you guys think? I love a 3-ply versus a 2-ply. It's more structured. And I love putting black with anything. And I just have a feeling that it might work together rather well. I don't know. Share your thoughts with me, especially if you're a spinner. So I don't know what I'm going to do quite yet. It's just in the thought processes right now. But I put it in my bag, my spinning bag, just in case. Now, as for what I accomplished yesterday. So yesterday it was a lot of fun, but it was also quite a challenge to spin because you are right there by the ocean. You have the wind, and yesterday was a pretty windy day. So the wind was like fighting against us when it came to spinning. So it was blowing our fiber. It was blowing my little wheel. Oh my gosh, it was a challenge, but it was still so much fun. I almost had a heart attack moment where I ran my yarn a bit thin and a piece broke off and I thought I lost it. I thought the wind took it away from me, but luckily it was right down beside me on my chair. So I didn't lose it, but it was almost a heart attack moment. I was like, oh my God, I just lost my fiber. It was funny. But all that to say, I got quite a bit done, guys. So here's what we got so far. And you can really see that sparkle. At least I'm hoping you can. I'm using my old phone again, so it's not going to show up as nicely. I'm sorry. I wonder if there's a... No, I don't think that's going to work. I was trying to make it focus. But anyways, that's what I did yesterday. There, that's focused now. That's what I did yesterday, and there's a fair bit on there. So I am super excited with it. And I'm pretty happy that I'm staying fairly consistent as well. Like there are what I would call like Tweety bits or nebs that are fiber nebs that are in it. And I'm doing really well with those. Before I would have been like really chunky with it. And now I feel like I'm more thinner with it and I'm more consistent. So I'm really happy with the way that it is turning out. It's just so pretty. So that is what I did yesterday for my spinning. So stay tuned to see what I actually come up with. So this is the rest of the first bat. And I ended up looking online how to work from a bat. I'm just taking it, I opened it up like so, and I'm just taking pieces from it like this. Like I'm just tearing downward. I don't want to tear it off right now because I'm not going to spin, but I'm just tearing downward, and then I'm working off of that little bit of fiber. Oh, it's so beautiful. So stay tuned and we shall see what I come up with. But I am seriously thinking of adding this one into it, because if I just do this into a 2-ply, there's not going to be a lot of fiber there. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay, so let me just put all this stuff away. And then I will show you stash enhancement. And for stash enhancement this week, as I said, there is no yarn, but there is some fiber and a piece of equipment. So let's start off with the fiber. So I did an order with Debbie of Yarn Indulgences, and I saw that when I went to the Atlantic Fiber Festival that she had merino nylon sock type roving to spin up. And I was just like, what? Because I definitely want hand spun socks. And I did pick up one, and I feel, looking back now, I feel like I should have grabbed two because more yardage, right? So I don't know. However, this time around, I did order 2 of each color that I picked up. So it is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. And does it actually put the colorway name on here? It does not, unfortunately. However, here is the first braid that I picked up. The colorway names are on the website, but not on the ball band. So I got this one because, oh my gosh, those bright greens here and the blues, it's just so pretty. So I ended up getting 2 of the same color. Now, it also doesn't say how many grams are in these as well, but I got 2. Is that overkill? Perhaps, but I definitely want a 3-ply because a 3-ply for socks I feel is a lot better. It's going to be more sturdier, or structured, I should say, and they should hold out a lot longer. Whereas a 2-ply, I don't think it would. So I have to figure out how to split those into 3 to get some good yardage out of it. So I decided to get this colorway as well because I had trouble choosing, and I got this one as well. And this is also on her Spin Your Sock. So 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. And I got 2 of them. Just turn it around so you can see all the pretty colors. So that is what I got, and I am so excited about it. I cannot wait. I really wanted to do the Lois and Jane first, though. As much as I want hand spun socks, I really wanted to spin up my Lois and Jane first. I have no idea what it's going to be yet. As I said, I don't even know how it's going to spin up yet, whether it's a 2-ply or 3-ply. I'm still trying to figure that out as I go. But I definitely wanted to do that one first, and then I will figure out how to do the socks. I didn't want to tackle that mountain going to Ren's cottage and try to figure all that out while we were there, because I wanted it to be a relaxing day. And especially with the wind, I'm glad that I didn't because it's something that I will have to use my kitchen scale probably and really weigh out my fibers to split it up into 3 different bundles, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, that is to come very shortly. So that is what I got for like fiber. And then I got one more thing for stash enhancement. It's not really stash enhancement because it's a piece of equipment. So I have had a beginner's loom for quite a while, but I have never brought it out to try it. And when I was at the Atlantic Fiber Festival, I saw, I can't remember the name now. They make canvas tote bags. I actually got one. They are in Nova Scotia, I believe. But something that really inspired me was on their canvas bags, a portion of the front pocket was done in loom, like weaving. And it was just so beautiful. And I have wanted to learn how to weave for a long time, and I just haven't. It's hard to find the time to do so. So what did I decide to do? Well, I've always wanted a rigid heddle, and I want an Ashford one, but I'm not going to spend a lot of money on something that I potentially might not like or give a lot of my time to. So again, I'm reaching out of frame. I'm sorry. I went on to Amazon and I purchased a rigid heddle. It's a 12-inch, and it's going to be hard to show on here, but I purchased a 12-inch rigid heddle, and it's by, the maker is Willowdale. And yeah, I am super excited about it. It is a tabletop version. You can get a stand to come with it, and I'm kind of regretting maybe I should have gotten the stand with it, but that's okay. It's fine. I have, I'm just going to set it down because it's kind of bulky. I have an idea of how I want to set it up. But yeah, I'm kind of excited about that. I've always, like I said, I've always wanted the rigid heddle, and I want to watch some videos online. I think the maker actually has a video as well on how to get you started. So yeah, it's a pretty budget-friendly loom, and it came off of Amazon, as I said. So it had some good reviews that I saw, and I am really excited just to try it. And I would love to make just basic stuff like tea towels and stuff like that. But eventually I would love to do that idea of making like a sampler piece and making it into a bag. I think that would be absolutely beautiful and stunning. So looming is something, as I said, that I wanted to try. So I purchased this piece of equipment, and hopefully I can get some use out of it, because it's exciting. It's just going down another rabbit hole, of course. But I've heard it's a great way to use up yarn as well. So that is another hope for me. I have some yarn that I actually purchased. It's by Shirley Bryan. So the deconstructed fade sets. I actually have not one, but two of the same colorway. And I specifically had bought in this color to do weaving with, because, and I lost it because I never saved it apparently. I thought I had. Somebody did a scarf, a loomed scarf with a deconstructed fade by Shirley Bryan, and it looked so stunning. So I would like to try to find that pattern or that person again and see if I could replicate that, because it was just so beautiful. So there's a couple reasons why I want to learn how to loom, and yeah, I think this is going to be exciting and fun to add to my assortment of crafts. So yeah, that is all I have to share with you guys this week. I will let you all go for now. As I said, show notes are always found down below, and I will hopefully see you guys next week. So until then, happy crafting and have a good one. Bye.